Hey guys, it's me, Donut Diamonds reading, and today I'm going to read a book called Timmy Faye Mistakes Were Made by Stephen Passes, and we're going to read chapter 1 to chapter 2. The other parts will be in this channel, so you have to wait a couple of days for me to upload another videos of reading this book, and we'll finish this book. Okay. Chapter 1. Blah 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 blah. Alright, let's get the boring stuff out of the way. My name is Failure. Timmy Failure. I look like this. My family name was once Failure, but somebody changed it. Now it's spelled as you see. I'd ask that you get your failure jokes out of the way now. I am nothing but I am the founder, president, and CEO of the detective agency I have named after myself. Failure Inc. is the best detective agency in the town, probably the country, perhaps the world. The book you're holding is a historical record of my life as a detective. It has been rigorously fact-checked. All the drawings in here are by me. I tried to get my business partner to do the illustrations, but they weren't good. I have decided to publish this history because my expertise is invaluable to anyone who ever wanted to become a detective. Just read the reviews. Invaluable to anyone who ever wanted to be a detective. Animus. But success did not come overnight for me. I had to overcome obstacles like these. 1, my mother. 2, my school. 3, my idiotic best friend. 4, my polar bear. And yes, I'm sure you have the same question. Everyone else does when I list these obstacles. Were my best friends with an idiot? I'll get to it later. Oh, and I suppose I should say a word about the 1,500-pound polar bear. His name was Total. Total Arctic climate is melting, so he wandered for food and found my cat dish. He is now 3,101 miles from his former home. Yes, that's a long way to roam for a cat dish, but we buy good cat food. Sadly, my cat is now in kitty heaven, or perhaps kitty badlands. He never was a friendly cat, but I still have the polar bear at least. Intentionally, Total displayed a fair degree of diligence and reliability, and thus I agreed to make him a partner in my agency. As it turned out, the diligence and reliability were a ruse, something polar bears do. And I don't want to talk about it. I also don't want to discuss the change I agreed to make the name of our agency, which now reads like this in our Yellow Pages ads. Total Failure Inc. We won't fail despite what the name says. And now I have to go because the Timmy line is ringing. Ring, ring. Timmy line, not for personal use. Chapter 2. The Candyman can't because he's missing all his chocolate. The call is from Gunnar, classmate, neighbor, and now just another guy missing his Halloween candy. I get a little candy case. They are not headline grabbing, but they pay cash money. So I wake up my partner and hop on the failure method. Should I say a word about the failure mobile? It's not actually called a failure mobile. It's called a Segway, and it belongs to my mother. She won it in a raffle, and she has set forth for some restrictions on when and how I can use it. Never, ever, ever. I thought that was value, so I used it. So far, she hasn't objected, mostly because she doesn't know. That touches upon one of my father's principles of Total Failure Inc., which I've memorized in the ink of my sole of my left shoe. Cheap mom in the dark. The only complaint I have about the failure mobile is its speed. If I ride it somewhere while Total walks, Total gets there first. That wouldn't be so bad if I weren't for the fact that he's between Total naps. Pup pup. So it isn't any surprise to me that when I get to Gunnar's house, Total's already there, doing something that he frequently does when he beats me to our house. Before I tell you what it is, let me just say this first. First impressions are critical in the detective world, and client has to know at first glance the detective is A. professional, B. classy, and C. discreet. All of his undermined when the client's first impression of their detective was this: jump, jump, jump. I've lectured Total so many times on eating garbage from clients' trash cans that I know he believes he is purposely sabotaging the agency. Fortunately for me, by the time I knock on Gunner's door, Toto has finished eating everything edible from the trash cans and is able to stand next to me on the porch. Gunner answers the door and escorts us to the scene of crime. He points at an empty table by his bed. My plastic pumpkin filled with candy was right there, he says while pointing at the tabletop. Now it was gone. Now it's gone. I look at the tabletop. I can tell from empty space that it's gone. Nothing there. He starts listing the candy he had in a pumpkin. 2 Mars bars, a Twix, 7 Three Musketeers, 5 Kit Kats, 11 almonds, Joys, 5 Snickers, an Abba Zaba, and 8 Hershey's Kisses. Connor looks up at me. You getting all this down? Of course I'm getting it down. Let's start with the basics, I tell the client. Like payments, I take cash, keys, and a credit card. I don't usually take credit cards, but it sounds professional, so I say it. How much will it cost? How much will it cost? Asks the client. $4 a day plus expenses. Expensives? Asks Gunner. Chicken nuggets for the big man, I say, pointing up to Total. Total roars, which looks intimidating until he falls backwards and crushes Gunner's desk. That, I know, will become out of his chicken nuggets. I tell Gunner that I anticipate a 6-week investigation, lot of witnesses, maybe some air travel. I'll show myself out, I tell him. As I walk down the hall, I pass his brother Gabe's room. Gabe is sitting on his bed surrounded by candy wrappers. There is chocolate smeared all over his face and an empty plastic pumpkin on the floor. Always on the lookout clues, I make an important note in my detective. Gabe, not tidy. Okay guys, I read 2 chapters and I'll be reading soon. I'll be reading the other books soon and the other chapters from this book too. Bye, hope you enjoyed this reading.